think I know those. I know these.
Yeah.
Like this,
Oh, you know what I can do? I'll go on Facebook and see if it comes up.
I'm going on right now.
How are you? Okay.
We're up.
You're up? Okay.
Okay, not too bad. Okay, we're gonna not do a workshop. We're gonna go right into a regular agenda. I'd like to call a village board meeting for December 18th open at 6:34. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call of officers
Okay.
or trustees, rather.
Yep. Mayor Haley,
Present.
Trustee Trezino,
I am here.
Trustee Trustee Beth,
Here.
Attorney Nugent.
Here.
Okay. Trustee Kelm and Trustee Cellier are absent.
Okay, we have bypassed the workshop this evening. We'll deal with everything as the regular meeting progresses. Okay. At this point in time, I would like to make a couple of announcements. As everybody knows, last month was a tough month for the village, a tough month for the town of Warwick, a tough month for West Milford, all our workers, our police back there. But we came through it unscathed. Unfortunately, we did lose the life of one firefighter very early on, tragic as it is. As the fire progressed, we were very fortunate to have a lot of dedicated leadership, a lot of dedicated troops on the ground taking care of everything from soup to nuts, from going into the woods, fighting the fire, standing at a traffic post, sitting in a traffic post, going to people's homes. We had a voluntary evacuation that took in the neighborhood of 80 to 100 police officers from all over Orange and Rockland County. This thing lasted about 2 weeks, give or take a day or two, and it involved hundreds and hundreds, thousand people to get it under control. There were a lot of ancillary people who helped, the food service people, the restaurants. We addressed that the last meeting. Couldn't be more proud to sit here as the mayor of this lovely little village with a board like this. Kathleen was with me every step of the way as I was over at the firehouse, the command center, with a bunch of leaders from our community. To sit back now and figure out how everything happened, it's truly humbling. It was, as you look at it, it was a sight to be seen that a community can come together like that. A lot of coordination. We had Orange County involved. We had the state involved. We all know the governor came and stuff like that. But there were so many people to thank. I tried to thank as many people as I could. We brainstormed everybody that tried to help, and so many people did. But I do want to recognize a couple of people tonight in public. So with that, I'm going to come around. You know, it's great to be a first responder, and God knows we had so many there that 2-week period. But there are also many other people involved. There was a lot of leadership that was moving, a lot of moving parts to this. And one person who I'm going to bring up first is our superintendent of schools, Sarah Haddon. I got to know Sarah when I first became mayor, and we had that microburst or tornado up on the East Shore. We worked together collaboratively then, and then with this 2-week thing, we were there every day together for the better part of the whole 2 weeks. So Sarah Haddon, come on up, please. And this is, maybe grab some pictures. This is on behalf of the entire village board. You got to see my face all the time.
Yep.
But you saw these other guys too. They
I did.
were all around. But your dedication to this community is obviously second to none. And I know you live in Goshen, but you've been in Greenwood Lake for quite a while now, and I know Greenwood Lake is near and dear to your heart. And it truly shows that you really care about this place and you care about the children. And I would like to just thank you for your leadership and dedication shown during the wildfires
Thank you.
today, December 18th. Thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you very much.
Okay? You got it.
I get hugs.
You do hugs, now we're totally fine. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
And there's
Thank you.
another one, Joe.
Sorry.
Yeah. And the next one I want to give out is to our local fire department. You know, it was really easy when there were 300 firefighters in Greenwood Lake. And like I said during one of my interviews, you know, when this thing does get over, it's the Greenwood Lake firemen that are going to, firefighters that are going to be here after everybody else leaves. And that's very true to this day. They're going to continue protecting our property, our lives, 365, 7 days a week. They don't care if it's snowing, raining, or anything. They're always there for us. And I would like to bring up Chief Al Nichols and number two, car two, Chief Russo, to receive this thing. Now, we all knew each other pretty good up until these fires, but we got to know each other very well. Chief Nichols, Al Nichols, you did a fine job. You made everybody proud. You made your dad proud back there. You were there every day. I think I told you more than once to go home and get some rest, but he wouldn't. And my second question was, who's out in the field? And he always said, Car 2. And that was this guy right here, Joe Russo. So I would like to give you this to represent your entire fire department in gratitude for your courageous leadership and unwavering dedication during the Jennings Creek fire. Your bravery and service inspires us all. Please take this back to your members and let them know how much we as the Village Board of Trustees appreciate them. And now this guy, Chief John Rader from the town of Warwick, him and our Chief Adam, they have it's a social funny thing back and forth. Who's taller, who has more money, I don't know. They're always bickering about something. And, but John and Adam work seamlessly together. Obviously, the way our geography works, we're in the town of Warwick, so we do have a lot of intertwining going back and forth. The thing I mentioned earlier about the microburst was the first one, and obviously this held through again. This was the most collaborative effort, I hope, at least during my tenure, that you'll ever have to engage in again. It truly was, I'll call it a work of art. There were so many moving parts from a law enforcement end that had to be taken care of. You know, we were going up to Jersey, rerouting traffic with the West Milford Police, and it all took coordination and leadership. So, John, if you come up, it's always a pleasure, and I'm very, very, very content when I see John come to a scene of something. He knows Greenwood Lake better than anybody. He obviously was a past fire chief. He knows that part of it. So this was a seamless thing for him. He made it look easy, but it wasn't. He had his lieutenants there, and when I got there at 7 o'clock, John was either there or he was coming in 15 minutes later. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, actually, for what you did during this thing and working with Chief Iron to make this thing a success, and it truly was a success in the long run. Thank you so much. So this award is presented to John Rader for his outstanding leadership and professionalism during the Jennings Creek fire. During this time of uncertainty and unknown, you stood tall as an admired leader in this village.
Finally.
I didn't like that part. Through your calm demeanor and prompt action, it is definitely an honor to work by your side. Thank you
man.
very much.
I appreciate
For
it.
everything you've done. John, you got it? You got one. You got it?
Thank you.
You're welcome, John. And well, tonight is about leadership. Everybody that came up was an integral part from their organization running things. I've been the mayor since April. Again, we had that microburst. We also had a devastating drowning, and I had an opportunity to work very, very closely with our chief, Adam Iron. I know him for quite a while. Never had an opportunity to work for him, and even though I'm retired from the police department for a better part of 18 years, sometimes it's kind of nice to get back into the game. I always felt I'm back in the game, guys, so I appreciate that. Even though I know I'm not in the game, Adam has full autonomy of the operations of our department, and I think that we are in the best shape you can be. I have the utmost confidence, as the board does, in Adam's operational abilities, his leadership abilities, his tactical abilities, and his willingness to work with so many other agencies. He presents himself in such a professional manner that I never have to worry about me being there or one of these guys being there. We know we're in good hands. And that lets me sleep better at night knowing. The only thing I don't like is that 7 o'clock phone call from him, because I know he's not calling to say hello. But that being said, I'd like to call you up, Adam, and reiterate that our village, from a police standpoint, is in excellent shape. You've done a fine job since you've taken over. You did a fine job before you took over. That's why ultimately you got to take over. But this award is presented to Adam Iron for his outstanding leadership and professionalism during the Jennings Creek fire. Your demeanor and prompt action, and it was an honor to work by your side. Now, unlike John, I know I'm going to have to work with you more and more because that's how we do it. But I just want to let you know, I want to let your department back there know that you have a true leader up here. I couldn't be more proud to call him a friend. I go back with his dad many, many, many years ago. So it's kind of come circle, and really great. I appreciate everything you've done. And here is this.
Thank you very much, sir.
And also
Thank you.
maybe his wife could come up for a second. His kids, come on up. And also, I would like to present him with the department recognition for this particular event. So on top of a nice little memento you have there, this is a breast bar, department recognition that's authorized for you to wear in your uniform as long as you're in Greenwood Lake, and it's for your meritorious conduct and your leadership throughout the Jennings Creek fire. And you can pin it on, or you can wait till later, but sometimes it gets you there. I'll give it to you. So,
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Let me get out of it. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Let me-
Thank you.
When you guys
Thanks,
want to
Matt.
take picture with me?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you.
then Catherine will grab one of all four.
Yeah, we'll go right in the front, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. Are we? Oh, am I gonna? No.
Anybody else?
Perfect. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
I get to go. Thank you, sir. You ready to come in? See you later.
Box to put that in?
Thanks again.
You're welcome. Yeah, there's a box for that if you want.
Sir. Nice seeing you.
Hey, thank you too.
See
Congratulations.
you soon. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Is it raining out there, John? Raining? Pouring?
Not pouring.
Is it icy? Is it leaving?
Okay, give everybody who's gonna leave a minute.
Good to see you.
Okay. Okay, let's see some other announcements. The Holiday Festival. The Holiday Festival on the 30th of November went off without a hitch. A little cold out, but it was a beautiful day. Santa Claus came and took millions and millions of pictures. So looking forward to doing that again next year. That was co-chaired by Clerk Holder and Clerk Danielle Mulqueen and Holly Brown. Thank this clerk right here for taking the bull by the horns and made everything run smoothly as can be. Thank you, Kathleen.
You're welcome.
Okay, we got correspondence. Deborah Rubin on water bill number 3061072.
No, that was the last one.
That
Sorry, I
was
didn't
listen-
see that.
Okay,
Good.
disregard.
Disregard that one.
Okay. Visiting elected officials. No, I see none. Reports of department heads and boards. We'll start with Parks. Brendan Coleslaw.
Come on up, Brendan, so we can hear you for the minutes.
Alright, so the Parks Department has been focused on winter preparation and holiday activities this month. We've done regular village-wide garbage collection, holiday festival setup and breakdown, successfully set up and dismantled festival equipment, including lights and decorations, village building decorations, installed decorations, including wreaths and lights on all the buildings, snowflakes along Windermere Avenue, installed winter-themed snowflakes along Windermere Avenue, snow equipment setup, ensured all snow removal equipment was ready for winter, plowed 2 snowstorms, keeping village lots and paths clear, winterized the water fountain in the lagoon in Greenwood Park, removed the weed harvesters and winterized those for storage for the winter, leaf cleanup around the village parks and properties, and we also winterized the bathrooms at the beach for the winter. Looking ahead, the department will continue winter maintenance and prepare for spring. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. DPW, Bill.
How you doing? Well, we had a couple storms this month. We did plow. I think we've got all the leaves cleaned up in the village. We've done coal patch, and we had quite a water break on Brook Court,
Yep.
which we got fixed. And we're working on equipment right now to get ready for this weekend.
Yep. We have something Friday into Saturday, is it?
Yeah,
That's
so
our
looks like it.
schedule?
Yeah, we have a few sanders to go down, so we're maintaining them.
Okay.
And we've been out salting, sanding every day.
Great.
So
Well, and again, thanks. I was up at that Brook Court. That was
a little difficult.
It was a difficult and tricky one, but you got it done, and that was the main
It's
thing.
done.
And
It's fixed.
so that was good. Thank you.
And thanks for that Windermere pothole.
Yes.
Done real quick.
No problem.
Yeah, that was a pretty big one.
Just call,
Yeah.
we got the
Thank
coal
you very
patch
much.
there, it's,
Yeah.
we don't see it all the time.
No,
Yeah.
someone
No,
called
someone
us.
called
Yeah.
us.
You know,
We didn't.
And I actually
drive
went out.
around and look, but I don't see
Yeah.
them all the
Yeah, I
time.
went
Yeah,
out.
somebody called.
I went out and looked, and I said, "Oh, that's a big one." Yeah. So, anyway, thank you, and listen, have a
Okay,
Merry
thanks,
Christmas.
yep.
Merry Christmas.
Police, I will read the police report for November 2024. 883 blotter reports, 5 arrests, 46 traffic summonses, 2 parking summonses, and 6 motor vehicle accidents. And this was all done during the wildfire. This was the month of the wildfire. Okay, that's the police. I will read Phil Landrew's water report. For the month ending December, the department has been busy finishing up year-end sampling and reporting. Working closely with Delaware Engineering on getting the caisson well number 5 ready to be rehabilitated and placed back into service. That's the well over in Victory Acres. It's been out of service for a couple of years, trying to get that back online. And they're finalizing a new treatment process design. He's been struggling to provide adequate heat to the entire treatment facility down at the water plant. There was an issue with heat, i.e. it's not working. So right now we're in the process of getting temporary heat in to get us through the winter, which is fine. It'll take care of everything we need, because we don't want to do anything permanent just yet, because we're in the middle of refurbishing the entire building. So I didn't want to chase permanent heat with something that's basically going to be temporary. So the heat will be up and running this week with Brendan purchasing a high BTO diesel heater and running some ductwork. Whitcon Construction is in the process of replacing one of the 2 settled water pumps that pump water from the falculator to our filters. The village dodged a bullet this past Sunday with our operators waking up to a complete PLC processor shutdown. Basically, it's the computer that runs the entire plant. It's the motherboard. I got a phone call 7:30 from Phil, met him down there, and at that juncture, we did not know even how much water we had in the holding tanks. We had a good idea, but we couldn't 100% say it. And also, this motherboard is what controls everything. Without it, we would have been in a world of hurt. We put TAM on standby to start delivering water if we had to backfill the tanks. The person who installed this from Aqualogics drove down on a Sunday morning from Syracuse with his wife and got here around 1:30, 2 o'clock on Sunday, and was able to get us back online. He figured out what was wrong. Fortunate for us, we have extra parts, extra modules that plug in. So basically, we were offline for about 6 or 7 hours. We never felt we were in danger of running out of water, but it's something that we couldn't let go on for a couple of days or even 2 days. So we were very fortunate that this gentleman was able to come down here and get us up and running. That's the water operator's report. Go right into trustees' reports. Trustee Kelman's not here this evening. Trustee Selye cannot be here. Trustee Trezino, do you have anything? I know.
Yeah. So for the Planning Zoning Board, they met once in the month of November. All were held over with the exception of 77 Sterling Road, which received conditional approval that night. Next meeting dates will be January 14th and the 28th. Total fees collected were $7,634. On public safety, I don't think we have to say much after that whole ceremony that we had. Everyone's aware of the outstanding job that our emergency services did during the Jennings Creek fire. That being said, the one thing I think we should bring up real quick on public safety, just to let everyone know, We are aware of reports of the drones in the area. Emergency Services is aware, the county is aware, the state's aware, everybody's aware. We have no more information than anybody else has, but if you have anything to report, you can certainly go online and directly give your tips or clear pictures to the FBI, who is heading up the investigation.
Thank you, Trustee Trezino. Trustee Vet.
No report at this time.
Okay, Attorney.
Nothing for the public, Mayor.
Nothing. Clerk's report.
All second notices for water bills went out. They're due by February 14th before they are re-levied to the taxes. I'm just going to read for, just to thank you for the holiday festival. A heartfelt thank you for our magical holiday festival. The Greenwood Lake Holiday Festival and tree lighting was a resounding success, and we owe it all to the incredible dedication and support of our community. Despite the frigid temperatures, our festive spirit shone brightly thanks to your efforts. We extend our deepest gratitude to Greenwood Lake Girl Scout Service Unit 227, Cub Scout Troop 121, the Sheehan Gormley School of Irish Dance, the Warwick Valley High School Meister Singers. Your captivating performances were the highlight of the evening, warming our hearts and souls. My sincere thanks to Deputy Clerk Holly Brown for her tireless efforts in helping to secure sponsors, setting up, breaking down the trail, as well as help from Mayor Tom Halley, who during a nice snow squall, we were freezing and couldn't feel our fingertips while we were trying to decorate the stage for Santa to come. A special thank you to Brianne Emsworth and Janice Scotto for the invaluable assistance with vendor load-in. Your hard work ensured a seamless start to the event. Thank you to our elves, Catherine Deaver and Breeze Williams, and the Merry Make and Take Station. We appreciate your crafting with the kiddos all day with the help of our wonderful volunteers. We also owe a debt of gratitude to the Boy Scout Troop 121 for their tireless efforts in setting up and breaking down lighted Yuletide Lane. Your committed service is truly inspiring. A special shout out to Matthew Buckley for providing the enchanting inflatable displays and animatronics that brought lighted Yuletide Lane to life. Richard Brennan, Patrick Bernard, Jim Cicchetti, Tommy Holder, and Adam Hamill were instrumental in helping to provide power to the trail and ensure everything ran smoothly. Behind the scenes, our dedicated parks crew, Brendan Colasar and Eddie Belillo, worked tirelessly to prepare and break down the event. Their meticulous attention to detail made the Christmas tree truly spectacular. Of course, no holiday festival is complete with the magic of Santa, Buddy the Elf, and the Grinch. Tony Donato, Sean Garley, and Carmine Scotto, your portrayal of these beloved characters brought immense joy to the event. I would also like to recognize our volunteers and generous sponsors whose support helped make our holiday festival a success. Your contributions allowed us to provide a festive and memorable event for the community. Mrs. Claus donation, MHE Engineering, Nice List, Emerald Point Restaurant and Marina, Emil's Automotive, Ferrick Nugent and McCartney, Greenwood Lake Supply, Greenwood Lake PBA, Janet and Leora Hod and Family, the Reese Group, Tri-State Performance Nutrition, VoiceCom Plus Incorporated, Santa's Helpers, where Bottoms Up Creations and Hidden Hill Metal and Wood Art, Greenwood Family Nails, Hawkins Delafield and Wood LLP, Karen's Cafe, Planet Pizza, Riley Family, The Grill. Our holiday elves were Johnny's Service Center, Mufetta Enterprises, Puskas Family, Sing Loom Kitchen, South Street Tire and Auto. And our festive friend goes out to Peter Lyons Hall. And thank you, Peter, for all your help with setting up the web and getting it all set up for our vendors and everything else. We are truly grateful for your support, and it's because of your generosity and commitment that we were able to create such a wonderful holiday event. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh,
End of my report.
thank you, ma'am. Old business. Okay, this one's not going to be going away. It's going to be around for a bit. Lead and copper survey. Just take care, Brendan. Just
Thanks,
we
Brendan.
sent it out a month and a half ago. If you're hearing about this for the first time or reading about it for the first time, call Village Hall. We'll walk you through it. We have to identify all the homes in our village regarding water pipe issues from the curb into the house, from the house. It's a state mandate. They're looking for lead. We fortunately have not had any reports of any lead, but we have to document this. So again, we're going to continue asking. There will come a point in time where we have to even go above and beyond and take a different strategy. But for right now, we have a little time. So if you can complete that lead and copper survey It's right on our website. It walks you right through it. So please try to take the time and do that. The water plant, I spoke a little bit about the water plant. Water plant, the refurbishing of it, the plans are being sent to Department of Health this month, before the end of the year, I'm told. They take, they are a bureaucratic agency, so they take a little time. So we're truly hoping to break ground on actual legit work in the water plant by June or July. It's a painstakingly long process. It's very frustrating, but it's the system. We have to live with it. And Phil Landrew has done a great job in keeping the place up and running, and it takes dedication like his. So we have our water. So that's the water plant. Borings, looking for another water source. We had planned on doing some test borings in the North Arm in October, November. It got delayed to November. Then basically what happened with the wildfires, we didn't get rain for 7 or 8 weeks, and the lake went down almost a foot, Matt, would you say?
Oh, it's down quite a bit.
In order to do these borings, you have to bring a barge in. The barge would not be able to work with the lake lowered at that level. So we had to put it off until the spring. What these borings on, their test borings, the engineers, through various amount of things, whether it be rock formations and whatever science they use, they feel that there's a possibility of a very good possibility of getting spring water out, not out of the lake, but underneath the North Arm in the ground. So it's not lake water. It would be water from a spring. If it comes to fruition, they feel we could have a water source for many, many years. So that's going to happen in the spring. Lake treatment, it's never too early to start thinking about lake treatment. I was on the phone with our Lake Commission representative this morning. We're trying to set up a call for the end of this week or the beginning of next week with Tigris to come up with our permitting procedures for next year. We want to get out of the gate early so we can be very proactive as soon as we see signs of water chestnuts and the other invasive species that attack our north and regular east arms. So we're coming up with a plan for that. New business, police cars. We will have to talk after this meeting, Matt and Trustee Trezino, regarding we need to have a special meeting because we need a supermajority on banning a police car. So we'll need all. Kelly is under the weather, so she's not going to be able to be around. So we're going to need the 3 other trustees and myself in order to pass that resolution. So there will be a special meeting notice going out soon, as soon as we can coordinate that. And it'll be basically just for this particular subject or anything else that might come up. Trustee Trezino spoke about drones. I spoke with Orange County Commissioner of Emergency Operations this afternoon, Pete Sigliano, who echoed what John just spoke about. They talk to the FBI 3, 4, 5 times a day. FBI is spearheading it. There are a lot of calls that come in because of everyone's looking up at the sky now. So not everything is accurate, but there definitely are drones going on. I mean, people have seen them. A lot of people have seen them. So I'm a moment's phone call if there's any issues. He did reiterate, like John said, if you see something and you're not sure, make the phone call up to Orange County Emergency Management and let them decide if it's worthy of an investigation or not. But they are investigating any credible tip that comes in. So we'll let you know more. That's about all I have on that. Okay. Events. Teen Center scheduled for Tuesday nights. Oh, I want to add one more thing on the new business. Because I saw Nancy here. I I want to just thank the Lions for their coat drive they did last weekend. They did a wonderful job. I'm not sure how, maybe you can let us know later on.
It's over 400.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
It's been a very successful and amazing drive.
that's tremendous. 400, it's a lot. Well,
We did the basement and Holy Rosary.
Right.
We did the food bank, and we did a couple of others that were just
Great.
our events that were going on. But
Great.
the response was amazing
Beautiful.
and apparently very needed.
Yep, good. Well, that's good. Community coming together again. Okay, the teen schedule, teen center is scheduled for Tuesday nights located Community Center, 51 Waterstone Road. That would be between the hours of 4 and 6 p.m. for 2nd to 5th graders, 6 and 8 for 6th and 8th graders. Okay, zoning board meeting, tentative dates, John spoke about January 14th and the 28th, located Village Hall, 18 Church Street, starting at 7:30. Hanukkah menorah lighting is going to be Wednesday, December 28th, I'm told, Benjamin Stanley Park. Time to be determined. We're waiting to hear back on exactly that time. Privilege of floor. Anybody?
That'd be me.
Okay,
I don't see anybody else.
Yeah.
you got it.
I had spoken with you, Mr. Mayor, about two items that I'd like to bring up to the board. One has to do with the exemption for emergency services personnel, the tax abatement.
You already passed that.
What we've adopted here in the village does not comply with what has been adopted in the town of Warwick and the county of Orange. Ours is slightly different and it's causing a problem, more so for retired members than anything else. But the two primary differences that have not been adopted in the village, and again, it might have been ours was so premature compared to the rest of them that it was done initially. They have since made changes in theirs, amendments to theirs. So one part, which is not as important as the second part, is the amount of time that you must be on emergency services, either the ambulance corps or the fire department, in order to qualify for this program. And the rest of the world has it at 2 years, and I think ours is either 4 or 5 years. I think it's a great incentive program. I think we get more people to sign on because it's more of not an immediate benefit, but it is not the same as LoSAP, which is length of service and you don't collect anything until you're 65. So that I think needs to be adjusted. And the other part that I think is even more important is the retirement benefit person, the person who retires from many years of service with the ambulance corps or with the fire department, is still tied. The benefit, that permanent, supposedly permanent benefit, is not permanent. It's tied to the number of points that individual continues to get, even though they're retired, which is, it was never meant to be like that. If you're retired, you're not getting more points, but if you have, we have a member in the ambulance corps that has over 50 years of service. She couldn't collect last year because she didn't make her 50 points. She's retired. I think the fire department has more people that would be ending up in this category even than the ambulance corps. It does need to match. It's also causing a problem for the assessor in Warwick, who's handling all three of these programs. Two of them are exactly the same and one is different here. So it is creating a problem. I think it needs to be direct. Some information has to come from the board, or some amendment to this program needs to be done so that those two minor changes need to be corrected. And I can't see the logic in having someone who's retired and receiving a permanent benefit because they've got 50 years in, having to tie it to points in a system that they're not in anymore.
we spoke,
I think it was
and
an
I
error.
agree with you, sure.
It's just an
So
error,
it's-
I think, in how it was prepared.
We'll have to look, we will definitely take a look at it, like I told you, during that little
And
meeting.
I think
Yeah.
it's a fair thing to do. I think it's the
Yeah,
right thing. to do.
that's, it seems relatively reasonable. Let us take a little deeper look.
The other item that I'd like to bring up to the board is more of a service project for the Lions. The pocket park between the senior center and the building next to it. There's a little tiny pocket park that not too many people know about. It is called the Sunshine Park, S-O-N, Shine Park. And it was dedicated to Agnes Kilduff, who previously was on the board. That park has not, it never progressed. The work that was intended to happen with it, with that particular park, the vegetation and everything else, really never happened. And there is a very large pine tree that used to be the Christmas tree in the village. Now the Christmas tree's across the street, but this pine has taken over the entire frontage of the park and is not an appropriate size anymore. That's one part of it. It also has very formal looking hedges around the gazebo. It's the best gazebo I think we have in the village. It's in really good shape. It's tremendous, but it's very dark there. The park is a dark place. It's not inviting to bring people in. And I think it could be a wonderful, more appropriate type of garden for a tiny space like that. I think we could have some foliage and mixed flowering plants, you know, that might be, might bring in the birds, the bees, and everybody else. Some of the butterflies, and I think that I've gotten the gardeners group, Grow Local, Greenwood Lake, they're all for this, and they would partner with the Lions. If the village is agreeable, I won't go forward with it if the village is not agreeable, but right now, no one knows that park even.
No problem. And again, we'll have a good discussion, and I looked at it after you brought it to my attention. And I agree with you. And it's right in the middle of town. We can make that look
It could
much
be
more
doable.
appealing.
It goes through
Yeah.
two street, I mean, it goes from Linden to Windermere.
Yeah,
And right now, it's just being used as a travel spot.
yeah. But I think we can do something with that. And the Lions always come through for the community, so.
Anything we can do.
We
And
know.
I mean, I think it's a wonderful project to go along with the clock restoration that is still happening.
Yeah.
That's still continuing.
Great.
And hopefully, when the weather warms again, we can finish that off. But
Okay.
it's really the entranceway to that little tiny parking lot.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. Anybody else? No.
Don't everybody get up at once.
Okay. Okay, could go right into resolutions there, young.
Yep.
Okay. Let me see here. 46, yep. Okay, resolution number 46 of 2024-2025. Be it resolved that the Village Board of the Village of Greenwood Lake authorizes the mayor to sign the agreement with Orange County Office of Aging for the Senior Dining Program. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Trevino,
Aye.
all aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 47 of 2023-2024. Be it resolved that the Village Board of the Village of Greenwood Lake authorizes the upcoming village election will be held at the Greenwood Lake Senior Center, located at 132 Windermere Avenue, Greenwood Lake, New York, on Tuesday, March 18th, between the hours of 12 noon and 9 p.m. The following election inspectors are authorized to work this election: Brian Capagna, Jennifer El Riafi, Deirdre Spaltoff. Do I have a motion?
Okay, Trevino,
Seconded.
Beth,
Aye.
all aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 48 of 2023-2024. Be it resolved that the Village Board of the Village of Greenwood Lake authorizes the mayor to sign a contract with PayServe for payroll services going forward in 2025. This is for our, obviously, payroll. We're gonna go to a new company.
ADP.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Beth, Trezino, Malloy.
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 49 of 2023, 2024. It's a resolution Village Board for the Village Greenwood Lake setting the dates of the village holiday schedule for 2025. Do I have a motion?
Seconded.
Trezino, Beth, Malloy.
Aye.
Aye.
Alright, this one you might have to read the whole thing.
Okay. Okay, Resolution 50, 2023, 2024. Authorizing the village insurance carrier to offer payment of out-of-pocket medical expenses to resolve a claim involving a slip and fall on village property. Whereas on October 28, 2024, an individual fell outside Village Police Station between the village station and Village Hall and suffered an injury involving loss of a tooth. Excuse me. And whereas the village's insurance carrier has advised that under the village's medical payments coverage, the carrier could offer payment of out-of-pocket expenses upon written request of the village. And whereas the village board desires to authorize an offer of payment of out-of-pocket medical expenses, now therefore be resolved that the above whereas paragraphs are incorporated in herein by reference. Section 2, the mayor or his designee is hereby authorized to communicate in writing to the village's insurance carrier that the village authorizes an offer of payment of out-of-pocket medical expenses to the injured individual with no admission of liability. Section 3, the mayor and any officer, employee, or consultant of the village is hereby authorized to take any and all action necessary to carry out the provisions of this resolution. Section 4, this resolution shall be effective immediately. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Beth, Trezino,
Aye.
Malloy.
Aye.
Okay, I have a motion to pay all audited bills.
Trezino,
Seconded.
Beth, Malloy.
Aye.
Okay,
Do I have a motion to accept the minutes from the November 20th, 2024 Village Board meeting and the November 26th, 2024 special meeting?
I'll make the motion.
We have everybody here that was at those meetings, Kathy?
were you there for that was the one that we called in about the water plant, where he had to order the special thing for the water plant from MHE. So I think you two were there and Chad wasn't.
No, I think all three of us were there.
Yeah, I
All
think
three
that
of
all
us were
three
there?
were there, yeah.
Well, Chad wasn't there, so, okay,
Okay,
alright.
okay,
Do we have an acceptance?
yeah, all those in favor? Aye.
Beth, Trezino.
Okay. We have some budget amendments that Clerk Holder will read.
Alright, so this is kinda confusing, but pretty much, the right-hand side are all the increase in revenues. On the left-hand side are the expenses. So we have, once the revenues and the expenses come out, we have to take $10,270 out of our contingency budget to, cover these, and just to make these line items not under budget. A lot of this stuff was stuff that we couldn't budget for. The insurance went up more than the 15% that we thought it originally said it would be about 15%. It went up above that. The DPW contractual work that we had to do, which was not budgeted for, which was trees on Windermere and Murray, were big ones that the DPW that we are contracted with, they were too big for them to take down themselves, so we had to hire a company to come in and do that. The DPW boiler system was going, so there's another one. And the garage tanks, that one had to do with, there was a meter in the garage tanks, and it kept saying that the tanks were full when they weren't full, so they had to change that out so that we kept running out of gas because it kept saying that the tanks were full when it wasn't, so they had to change out that too. So, okay, so we will be taking from the contingency line item A1990.400, $10,270 to go into the following A1910.4 insurance, and judgment claims. A1930.4, I think it's the judgment claims that she has. A4020.4 vital statistics. That usually works its way out. It's money that we get from Eileen Astorino, and then it goes back out to her because she does all the vital statistics for the village. That's like anybody looking for death certificates, marriage licenses, birth certificates. Even though they reside in the village of Greenwood Lake, it all gets handled through the town of Warwick. DPW contractual tree work on Windermere and Murray, A5110-400 to A5132-412 DPW heat and boiler, A5132.414 garage gas tanks, A7550.087 holiday festival. That was, we have to create an expense line item for the holiday festival, even though we have the revenue line item for A2705.3. Okay, so that'll wash itself out in the end. So now I have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Seconded.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay. All aye.
Okay. We are not going into executive session. I'd like to hear a motion for an adjournment. Next regular village board meeting scheduled January 15th at 6 p.m. with a workshop, followed by the general board meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right, Beth? Jazino?
All right.
All aye.
Aye.
I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays, everybody.
Whatever you celebrate, enjoy and see you in the new year. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Are you off the record now?
Nope, not yet.
No,